Hello, my name's Helen Bevan, and I've spent the last 30 years working as an internal change agent in the National Health Service in England, leading very large, complex programmes of change. And I'm delighted to be here today to endorse creating the conditions for change and integration. And I'd like to share with you some of my own knowledge, things I've learned over the years about leading and supporting large-scale change. I'd like to tell you a story. In September 2022, there was a new evaluation that got published about supporting change in the National Health Service in England. And basically, what had happened was 6 or 7 years ago, 5 hospital systems in England had all embarked on a journey to create organisation-wide quality improvement. And there's a team from the USA called the Virginia Mason Institute, which gets some of the best healthcare improvement outcomes in the world. So Virginia Mason came from the USA to the NHS in England and worked with 5 hospital systems. And you know, there was an evaluation, and 6 or 7 years later, what this evaluation showed was that all of these hospital systems had all got the same inputs. They'd all got support from the Virginia Mason Institute, from the USA. They'd all got resources from the NHS to help them to implement change. They were all in a learning community together. But 3 of the 5 hospital systems had moved forward with their performance and were doing really well, and 2 of them had gone backwards. And what the evaluation looked at were what were the factors that made a difference. And what the evaluation showed, was the most important factor when it came to the ability to make change happen across a big, complex system was building what the evaluators called cultural readiness for change. And what they meant by that is that those hospital systems that prior to being part of this big experiment with Virginia Mason, those hospital systems that had already invested in building cultural readiness, developed and amplified the values of their organisation, built relationships and built connections, they had built really strong foundations so that when the Virginia Mason improvement approach happened, they could plug it into what was already happening. Those organisations that hadn't done the cultural readiness but brought in the improvement methodology, to a large extent it was like trying to make change happen on a bed of sand. There were no strong foundations. So actually, building readiness for change, building the relationships and connections that are aligned with the values of the organisation and what it stands for is such a critical aspect of change that I can't really overestimate how important it is.